It means being authentically or authentically going after what it is that you say is important. And so we've got to go back and answer those questions in the beginning. So purpose is to nurture each moment, because each moment is a sacred gift. And in that moment, you just grow little by little by little by little by little. And every single time that you do that, what you do is you increase your value to other people. Any questions on that before we have a break?
One thing that I've found, like, I've been doing a bit of learning in this area, and a lot of the time they really do emphasise where you are now and where you want to be, and like get you to make pictures of it and all the rest. So unless you're looking at that in the right way, that could ultimately be stopping you from getting there as well, because you are just picturing on that and not getting yourself into that mindset?
There's a lot of difference, because it's always never as clear cut as that. Yeah. Okay, so again, you know, to get home tonight, you've got to have a very clear idea where home is, because if you don't know where home is, you can't drive there. Yeah. You can't map the territory. There's a difference between designing a picture and having it hang out there, and designing a picture, exactly the same picture, and experiencing it now. Yeah. So, when I started off, I was living in Kalgoorlie and I was a potter and I wanted to become a millionaire. Okay? Now, I have had this thought: was I a potter who wanted to become a millionaire, or was I already a millionaire who just happened to do pottery? If I was a potter who wanted to be a millionaire, the millionaire would always be out there and pottery would be my experience. And, you know, it'd be like the carrot and the stick. Every time I moved forward, it would just move forward with me, and the only thing I'd do was get older. So what I do is I put that... Exactly. Well, I would never have got there. So what I do is I just put that thought, it went straight in. There was no resistance. It was true. It went in the instant. So I became a millionaire who just happened to do pottery. So at a vibrational level, it was already a done deal. Now, on a physical manifestation, there was just a lag time now. But the lag time was cut short because I was already it. So it had to catch up to me. I didn't have to catch up to it. Does that make sense? So you've got to get yourself in the feeling place of that. Yes, yes, yes. And, you know, that might take, it can either go, you know, slot straight in, or it just might take a little bit of reconditioning to get it in. But if it doesn't go in, then you're always living what's already in there. So I would have always been living the potter.
And do you think that's a lot of people's hurdle with this kind of thing?
Yes, so they don't take on the identity.
Yeah, and so they set it, and then they, you know, laws of attraction, that kind of thing, but then they're like, oh, where is it?
Well, they don't really set it. They don't really set it. So that's the thing. Because see, and again, it depends on where they're getting their information from. So yes, you know, absolutely, it's important to have this picture, and it's important for that to be clear. And so yes, you can have dream boards, and you can have all of that stuff is important. But if the idea doesn't go in, then it's still out there. So just because you're out there and in the future doesn't mean to say that it's not already present in some form or shape in your mind. And it has to be present in some form or shape in that subconscious mind, because then that becomes, you know, that excites the automatic goal-seeking servo mechanism. It's just that that's the goal. So the goal is just where you live. And so you venture forward because it's very, very clear, but it's still, you know, it's still kind of sort of out there in time and space. Which, if we were having a different conversation, there is no such thing as out there in time and space, because it's all now. But because it's just too confusing to people, it's easier to put it out there into the future, because then people think of time in terms of linear, you know, minute by minute, week by week, and so they can do that. They can understand it in their mind. But most people, they don't get it explained in a way that it can. That supports the attainment of it. You know, if I get this, it'll make me this. No, it doesn't work that way.
You've got to be that.
you've got to be that, and then, what is it? Believe it and you'll see it. But hang on, if you see it, then you'll believe it. So which way has it come? And if you think about, I think last week we talked about, there is no perception without experience. But then all your experiences then start to shape, or your perceptions then start to shape your experience. Okay? Let's have a cuppa.